Weather is in the air.
Whether you like it or not. Yeah.
Whether you like it or not. Weather always exists.
Yeah.
On every planet.
You know, we used to have that is very true. We used to have a saying here, every day is a weather day.
Every day is a weather day. Because even if it's sunny, even if the moon is eclipsing the sun, weather happens.
That was wild, wasn't it?
It was alright. It was pretty cool.
It was.
You didn't even see it.
I had a pretty good view of it. Saw it closer up than you did. Didn't even need glasses.
You looked directly at the sun the whole time. We're talking about best weather movies. Now, I should say, most weather movies are not good. Baseline, some are okay.
I'm going to go ahead and say all of them are bad.
Yeah. But some of them are really fun to watch.
Yes, yeah.
And the other ones are, so bad it's good. Some are just bad.
Yeah.
Majority are bad. I would say 75% of weather movies are bad.
Don't let me forget, I've got one.
Okay. You're going to add to the list?
I've really only even seen like clips of this, but Hard Rain,
Anyways, we'll get started with the most obvious...
No, we'll get started with Hard Rain.
No, we're skipping Hard Rain. We'll start with the most obvious one because there's a sequel coming out this year.
Yep.
And that is Twister from 1996. Bill Paxton, Helen Hunt, the guy who directed Tar. Yeah, but if you don't know what Twister is, I'm sorry for your loss because...
It's fantastic. It is, mostly, I don't know, this movie at least kind of keeps, while ridiculous and while like tornadoes are the bad guys, not really most of the time, but that like, it's plausible. Yeah. It's very plausible that most of this could happen.
There's possibility that two tornadoes can happen at the same time.
We haven't, this is before it's like, oh, the tornadoes are like, they know they're tracking you and they're following you. I'm not saying that's happened, but that's where weather movies devolve into later. So this really does feel like a very realistic portrayal of what, I guess at the time Storm Chasers weren't. I just love how weird, just goofy this movie is.
Because like you said, there's no real bad guy in the movie. Yeah. Carrie is kind of bad, but he's more of just a butthead than anything else.
Divorce, maybe that's the bad guy, that
Divorce is always the bad guy.
And so, and just that, it just feels so lived in, the movie does. Mm-hmm. And that's what I think I like about it the most. It's not like the origins of this group. It is that's what was great about the 90s and the 90s movies is you could really just drop you into the middle of someone's life and be like, oh, and now these things happen.
You don't get origin stories.
There's no backstory. You get a little bit of backstory of Helen Hunt's character later, but through dialogue. But it's not we didn't have to see Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt meet, get married, love storm chasing, divorce, meet this other woman. It's it's everything. It's just it just feels like a moment, and then a cow just.
Let's hope the sequel lives up. We have high hopes for it.
Yes.
Just because we live in Arkansas.
Yeah.
And we experience tornadoes.
Yep.
But also, it's Twister is one of those so fun you don't even care if it's a good movie or not. Yeah. It just is.
Even the director's name is fun. Jean Dupont?
Yeah.
Incredible. It's just, I am excited. I'm excited for Glenn Powell. It really does feel like everyone's what if we just got the most insane cast again?
Next, I want to go back to the 70s where disaster movies were all over the place. You had Airplane,
Earthquake,
Inferno Tower, or whatever it's called.
Earthquake, Tower Inferno.
The Godzilla remake, not the Godzilla remake, the King Kong remake with Jeff Bridges. We get the Poseidon Adventure.
Yeah.
Ocean bad. Ocean flip you over.
Not gonna lie. That's why I don't go to the ocean. I go to the ocean. I step in.
You don't go.
I respect the ocean.
You don't go that far.
I'm not going that far out.
Yes.
Where no one can find you.
And also can't find you because the storm is so bad and the boat is upside down.
Boat's underwater.
Yeah. So basically, really bad waves flip over a cruise ship.
Yeah.
And Gene Hackman has to save the day with Ernest Borgnine and Shelley Winters. They do not treat Shelley Winters' character well at all in this movie. But at the end of the day, she saves Gene Hackman and then dies of a heart attack.
Wow, what a way to... You survive?
Yeah.
You survive the Poseidon.
Yes.
Then you die of a heart attack.
It is such a wildly great 70s movie. Just to know what the 70s was like, but also to the practical effects. The practical effects in this are amazing.
Well, when things are upside down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fun.
It makes it easy.
when you're walking by chandeliers and like lamps, that's cool to me.
And Gene Hackman, you know, in real life, sort of a grump. Just is playing himself, it feels like, in this movie. And they remade it in like 2005 or something.
Yeah, with Kurt Russell.
We had sort of a little disaster movie era in the early 2000s, Day After Tomorrow.
I think isn't Richard Dreyfuss in
Richard Dreyfuss in it, yeah.
I saw it when it came out because I was so intrigued by it. This is before I'd even seen the original.
Yeah.
And not great.
Not great. But this one, fun. Not great either. But I think the performances are better.
Yeah. Well, I think really, too, it is the practical nature of it that rules.
Now we go from practical effects to, I don't know what they were hoping to achieve with this movie. 2017's Geostorm. We were suggested this movie by Lauren, who's a frequent Getting Real collaborator. So, JD, why don't you get the heck out of here?
I'm going to go Geostorm over here.
And see what she has to say.
Ooh, got a little cold down here. Maybe it's the weather, you know? It's okay. So, Lauren, hello. Hi. First of all, Geostorm.
Geostorm!
I gave it away, but that's the weather movie of your choosing.
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Oh, I didn't know if I was... Okay, this does work.
I mean, it's delightfully, insanely... It's crazy. So, and Gerard Butler makes it everything over the top in this movie that makes no sense. That we just found out is supposed to be set in the year 2019. The movie came out in 2017, and they were thinking ahead to the future of 2 years of 2019.
Yeah, the future, the 20.
Yeah.
Oh.
We have created a series of satellites in space that control the weather, so that we're not having like destructive tsunamis and tornadoes and hurricanes. And Gerard Butler is the scientist who came up with how to make that work, and it's working great. Until it's not. And there starts being like blizzards and stuff in places where there shouldn't be. And people are dying. And they're like, Jerry, you got to go back up to space and see why they're breaking and why it's not working. And so he goes back up there and they realize everything's working fine. So it's actually not breaking, it's being sabotaged.
But is the villain not, is it climate?
No, the villain is Ed Harris. Secretary of State of the Union. Sorry, spoiler, but he's the bad guy.
Always is.
You can't put him in the movie and him not be bad. He's just kind of always bad. But it's a crazy movie that is they're using the weather as a weapon to kill people. That's what the bad guys are trying to do. We were trying to control it. Gerard Butler's trying to control it for good, and Ed Harris is using it for bad.
Now, does the moral of the story that you just can't control these things and they disband the satellites?
They do. I think they turn them off, don't they? I think they turn them off at the end. Basically, like, we're not God, basically. We could try to be. But it's crazy because we were also just talking about this. There are places in the world who do sort of do this in real life where they like create rain and they're trying to control the climate and control weather conditions to like help situations where they live. But when you start trying to do that, it's a little crazy, and everybody should watch Geostorm because I would say that is kind of the moral is like we can control it to a certain extent, but when you think you're God, it kind of can get out of control.
Thank you for your insights on Geostorm.
Geostorm!
Geostorm!
Well, Geostorm is a fun word to say.
Geostorm. And it's getting a sequel, right? Or is that the other Gerard Butler?
No, that's the other. That's
disaster movie?
Greenland.
Greenland, yeah. That one's getting a sequel.
Yeah.
But let's move on to another crazy one. Mm-hmm. In the same way people hate The Last Temptation of Christ for taking a fictional, just retelling a story of Jesus, this one retells the story of Noah. Darren Aronofsky, known for doing his thing.
That's not my issue with the movie. It's that it just feels a little too big of a budget, too wild of a movie for Aronofsky.
I'm not going to tell you this is a great movie because it's not.
Yeah.
But you get rock monsters. If you've not seen this movie, I'm sorry I spoiled it for you. There's rock monsters that show up, but there's a really cool montage in it that when the passage of time.
Aronofsky's always great at that.
And it's just so good. I mean, obviously he kind of did it in The Fountain
Yeah.
too, but Russell Crowe playing Noah is such an odd choice. Emma Watson,
Playing the wife of one of his sons.
yes. It's just a weird movie.
It's like weird choices. Stop taking, I don't know, a couple, chapters of the Bible and being like, what if I made it a 3-hour movie?
Yeah, but Aronofsky really wanted to make this.
I know he really wanted to make it, and they've been talking about it forever. It's just as weird. Like Ray Winstone's in this movie as a bad guy, and what's Jennifer Connelly?
Yeah. I think if you watch it, separate it from the Bible.
Yeah,
it's an okay story.
yeah, and it's not even. I don't know. You think it's like, oh, Aronofsky's gonna bring that like Aronofsky like lesson.
Yeah.
That like and it just doesn't
No,
really feel like that either.
it's his most mainstream movie,
and
it's just still weird.
weird. I think I read right there. It's kind of making it's getting a moment in the sun of like I think it's on Netflix.
Yeah,
At the moment of this recording,
more people are finally.
Yeah,
seeing
Russell Crowe has talked about it. Like, oh, it's crazy. Like, yeah, the movie's kind of more people talk to me about it. I don't understand. I don't think there's a big debate right now. Does every movie need a reclamation?
No, but it's good that people are watching it because it's just an interesting movie to discuss.
Sure. I mean, he's got a cool beard.
Let's get to Waterworld.
Okay.
Look, we were thinking, what's the final movie to talk about? And what better movie to talk about weather movies
You didn't want to talk about Hard Rain. So.
Post-apocalyptic, the whole world is water.
Yeah.
Waterworld, Kevin Costner, Dennis Hopper, over the years have talked about my dislike of Kevin Costner
We've
movies.
mentioned it, we've hinted at it.
It's made it into some of our videos, but I've never fully explained why.
You've constantly shot down a top 10 of Kevin Costner.
Only twice. Only twice. I think Waterworld sums up why I don't like him as an actor. I do like him as an actor in some movies, and it's because he's not playing the stoic, sort of not really reacting to anything type of character. So the postman, he's very much just not reacting to anything for most of the movie. Waterworld, he's sort of just drinking his own pee, doing his own thing, which I kind of respect. Waterworld's so bad it's good. It's like, it's over the top.
Well, do you think a lot of it, at least for Waterworld, is that...
Dennis Hopper? Yeah.
Oh, no, that like so much is hanging on like his movie.
Yeah.
And I feel like he pushes for the budget. He pushes for all the crazy stuff.
It's made because he wants to make it.
Because he wants to make it. And maybe he's just like, this has got to work.
Yeah. And his character in it is just a curmudgeon. And it's okay. I mean, but him in like The Untouchables or like Open Range and another Gene Hackman movie, No Way Out, with also Sean Young, he's not playing Kevin Costner. I hate the movies where he's playing Kevin Costner. It's all about just Robin Hood, for example.
Yeah.
When he's playing a very stoic character, it just feels...
Robin Hood. Good.
Well,
Not good, but good movie. He's having fun in Robin Hood.
Yeah.
Whether he's got a good accent or not, he's having fun. He's having fun in Field of Dreams. So what you're saying is you're now on board for Horizon?
I am not excited for Horizon. Well, I'm 50-50 because I love Open Range, and he directed Open Range, and he starred in it.
Yeah.
And he is sort of stoic in that one, but he's more gruff.
But there's one Open Range. It's not Open Ranges.
No, that's true.
I think this is actually Horizons.
Let's wrap it back to Waterworld.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Waterworld. So is it because you're a fan of Mad Max?
I am.
Do you think that you just also don't like water?
Well, water is wet, and sand is dry. One is easier.
I'm just saying.
I'm like a reverse Anakin, you know?
You look at it, Waterworld is a little bit like Mad Max.
It's almost too much like Mad
You're right.
Max.
It is too much Mad Max. But it is, he said Mad Max, but wait, water.
But a really great attraction.
Are you talking about Universal Studios?
Yeah.
I'm so glad you brought that up. Because yes. Should we say the best weather thing ever is the Waterworld Universal Studios?
I would think so. It's just crazy that it has lasted so long. Yes. It has not changed a single thing about it. I've never went, but I've watched videos of it. It's exactly the same.
I've been live. Rules. Just as cool as the videos.
The legacy of Waterworld lives on in the attraction.
Yeah.
I think it's a great movie to watch. performances are all over the place. The little kid in it, obviously, when you put a little kid in with an old curmudgeon dude who's sort of becomes a proto kind of sort of father to the kid, that becomes fun. But it's also just handled so terribly. But that's our list. Obviously, we mentioned Day After Tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's other ones. There's San Andreas.
Oh, man. Yeah, San Andreas.
There's a bunch of earthquake-related ones that are almost always bad.
Yeah.
The volcano ones, Dante's Peak. We've talked about them. Do you ever think there's going to be a disaster movie that is like Oscar-worthy? Like Oscar bait.
Wasn't it Towering Inferno?
Okay. That's the past. I'm talking about the future.
There has been. I think there was an award-winning weather movie.
What's that?
An Inconvenient Truth.
That's right. Very inconvenient time to talk about that one because the video's over.